Hi, so I'm back for video number 11, and it's been a few days since my last one. A lot has been going on. I don't know if I know how to verbalize what's going on, but there's a lot of facilitating factors to this. There's the cardinal cross happening, which is major event of planets aligning and opposing each other, and it hasn't happened in a very long time, and some of the degrees, I think it is, something about it is very aligned with what happened in the 60s, which started a revolution. But that's just a little part of it. I'm on the path to empowering myself, and I believe that it can be odd to hear this when you haven't tuned into your own spirituality, like, or attuned your sensitivities, but whether you have or you haven't, there's this part of us that's going to know deeply that there's something more to us than just what we are or who we think we are. And there's something deeper to our experience than just the base material physical levels of it. And, if you deeply relate with your emotions, or you deeply relate to some sort of sensitivity that you as a person specifically experience, then you get moved by it, you move into it, there's something more, there's something else going on, and there's something deeper going on. And anyway, I'm going to get a little intense for this one, I think. I'm going to talk about some things that are not, I don't know, as openly understood as I think that they will be. But there's some major shifts happening, and I'm experiencing a great opening of myself and of who I am and of where I'm going, and tapping into that is it's a tremendously intense experience. It's kind of almost overwhelming, but it's like the more that I get rid of the fear and the more that I establish a strength within me, the more heightened my sensitivities become, the more aware and the more in tune with like who I am and what I'm offering to this world is coming into play. And so lately I've gone through too many shifts to name, and too many shifts to even be conscious of, really, for me. But I'm clearing, I'm releasing, I'm recovering, and I'm transitioning through a lot of fear and a lot of programs and a lot of ideas and constructs of how I should be and who I thought I was and what I am and what I'm not. And really aligning and attuning to what I truly put my faith in right now, which is my soul and my truth. And my truth is a truth that is very deep and very very strong, very almost, like there's almost like no words for the truth that I wish to express, and that through all this clearing and through all this process and letting go of and like breaking through from and the limitations and, stepping out of the things within that make us jealous or make us feel inadequate or make us feel wrong or not worth it, or like that we need to be something, that we need to have a career, that we need to go to school, that we need to have more money and have more things and all of that. And breaking through from that and embracing my truth without any inhibition from my outer circumstance, without any worry about how much money I have or how successful or how loved I perceive myself to be. I'm finding a strength that's raw and passionate and so wild and so like, it's like there's an untamable force coming up within me that, you know, is directly connected to the heart, directly connected to expression and loving and compassion and fully, you know, not stepping up to step up and be above, but stepping up to be love. You know, that's the term for it, to be in that power of love. And it's not a power that I'm trying to gain, it's a power that comes from going through your shit. Sorry, but going through it and taking a step back from yourself, taking a step back from what's blocking you and keeping you in this disillusionment about what reality and reality isn't. So we all succumb to fantasy. I'm heavily one to succumb to fantasy, to succumb to reality that is supposed to manifest as external, because in my head it's like that's the truth and that's what's gonna happen and that's how things are gonna be. But inevitably it's gonna break you down and smash you, and you know, it's like never gonna manifest in that way when there are underlying issues, there are underlying reasons for this. It's fear, it's inadequacy, it's mistrust, it's lack of nurturing, it's whatever it is that you really have to process as an individual soul. That's what you have to face. You have to face the most unbearable truth. The one thing that you deny the most is the one thing that you need to admit and open up to and receive and feel, even if it's the most unpleasant, the most difficult. You know? Like, even if you have the biggest wall, the biggest, tallest wall that you feel you can't climb and you can't get through and there's no way to cross it, if you shift yourself even the tiniest bit, the universe will work with you to get through it. To get through what you're going through, to get through what is stopping you from experiencing yourself whole and of your truth. And I mean, the fundamental aspect of this is embracing that, is opening up, is becoming this, but at the same time, you know, it is that process. The process is to experience this. And our souls are all at different levels while we are evolving collectively, like in this tremendous way, this potent way that's like such a crucial time, like such a time that has not happened because it's not happening physically. It's not an industrial revolution. It's not a technocratic revolution. It's a spiritual revolution. It's a revolution that is happening inside of us. It's a revolution that is happening more energetically than physically. And it's a peak time. And everywhere that we are is a part of it. But if you want to grow, if you feel called, or if there's something in you that is just bringing you down and destroying you, and you know, you can even almost see the cycle and you're in denial or you're victimized by it, then just, if that's what you're meant to do, stop. Look at it. Shift your focus. Shift it. Be selfish in a sense, and not selfish as a projection, but be selfish in the sense that you need to look at yourself and you need to be the judge. You need to judge yourself. You need to look, not cruelly, with nurturing and love, of course, but you need to look at yourself and say, what is it in me that is causing this to happen to my life? What is it in me? What pattern am I not releasing? Am I continuously holding on to? I'm continuously afraid of? I'm continuously giving my power to, that is controlling my life in such a way that I am not actually inhabiting and being who I need to be, who I should be, who I am. Take responsibility. This is the time to take responsibility for what is happening and know that you create it. And even if you're like, well, all I need to do is pray more, or eat differently, or shift my work, or shift some silly aspect of my life so that things start getting better, or I'll procure more crystals and learn more spells or purification things, or whatever it is that you get into, do more yoga. It's not going to matter, because if you're not getting down to the fundamental underlying cause of what is happening, it's not going to change. And opening your heart up to yourself takes a vulnerable and introspective rawness, deepness, an ability to be like, I've been a terrible person to people because of my projections. I've been a terrible person to people because of my fear of myself, because of my feeling of being ugly or insecure or bad or wrong or nobody whatever it is that created that. It's time to step forth and say no. Empower yourself by disempowering your external realities. Empower yourself by taking responsibility for them and not continuously projecting them outside. Because if you project your power onto other people, it strengthens that, and it's going to keep muddling and screwing with your mind and screwing with your life. So, I mean, I got a little intense there. I'm sorry, but it's just, I'm seeing so much of this. I'm seeing it in myself. I'm dealing with it in myself. I'm seeing it in my friends. I'm seeing it in all these people I don't know as well. And it's like, it's a chaotic thing, because it's like strong right now. It's so strong. And it's like, open your heart to the truth. Not the truth that you think that you need, but the truth that is there. Or just at least open your heart up to love. I mean, this is my truth. This is where I stand. This is where I think a lot of people stand. But this is also just everything going on in your life is not about anybody else but you. How anybody makes you feel, what any circumstance or situation that you put yourself into makes you feel, it's about you. And the more we take that back, we realize that the more potential for the revolution itself is happening, but the more potential for that revolution to carry itself through, and for you to ride the waves in a way that you can't even imagine, I can't imagine it yet either. I'm still muddling through the murky waters, but things are really happening, and we feel it. I mean, to get down to the mundane aspects, is people are dying, wars are happening, there's the threat of nuclear blah blah blah, there's natural disasters that could happen potentially any moment. And it's like, we're all on the edge of this, like, what's gonna happen, what's going on, and like, we could be so afraid, but at the same time, if we take responsibility inwardly, imagine what we can create, imagine what can happen. Imagine the shift. Okay, I think that's good for now, so I love you all, and own it. Even if you hate it, own it. What else?